Hello and welcome to today's yoga class. Today we will start with a nice child pose, opening up your knees if you feel up for it to create more space for your spine. And in today's class we will dedicate to more stretches, opening up in our hips, opening it up in our chest, and finding more space in our body for mobility. Connect to your calm breathing. Connect to your breath. At the back of your ribs, allow your head to move slightly. And slowly roll up and find a nice gentle arch, waking up your body in the opposite direction. And slowly we're going to come back to our child pose. And we're going to do a few like that. Gently rolling up with your spine and bringing your pelvis forward, finding a nice arch, keeping your navel in, and gently coming back down again to a deeper child pose. And just one more time, roll up vertebrae by vertebrae and take your pelvis a little bit further, let go in your neck, and just bring yourself to a vertical position. Interlace the fingers behind you and bring yourself all the way down to find a nice stretch in our shoulders. Without pushing our arms too much forward, just allowing the gravity to do its work. Let go of unnecessary tension in your neck, and vertebrae by vertebrae roll up, find a nice arch, and from there go down to your fourth to meet our cat and cow. In your arch, allow the crown of your head and your tailbone go further, and then the cat, allow them to arrive together. Breathe in and bring a richer arch, and breathe out even further. Allow your body of sternum to go in and arch. Breathe in deeper, and on the breathing out, just place your arms a little further to bring a gentle wave and let your pelvis go forward and back, finding a gentle mobility from a child into a cobra, and sending a nice wave forward. A few more like that, and nice wave through your spine all the way to your arch and coming back, and another one forward. Tuck your toes, stay there for a little bit and get ready to lift yourself up all the way from your navel into your down facing dog. Walk it out, move from one foot to the other, finding a nice movement in your ankles, under your toes, warming up your hamstrings. Nice mobility in your hips and longer spine. And look forward, jump forward, or slowly walk towards your hands. Let go. Let go of unnecessary tension in your neck. Wiggle it around, saying no, no. And slowly bend your knees. And vertebrae by vertebrae, roll up all the way, bringing your hands above your head, all the way down. Interlace your fingers behind you again, little arch, and just go all the way down to find this bigger range, and let the gravity take your arms closer to the ground, letting go in your shoulder blades. Feel free to bend your knees gently or keep them straight, and just let go of the lock in your hands. Touch your ears And just give some extra weight to your head. And again, slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring your arms above your head into prayer position and go all the way down. On the breathing in, look out. Breathe out, jump back, step back into chaturanga. Push up, and a little cobra, or however your body feels, maybe a little bit more open. Go back to down facing dog. And let's send a few more waves all the way from our heels and back to down facing dog. Sending a wave all the way to a plank and back to down facing dog. And another one. And keep your navel engaged, especially when you're going back to down facing dog. And send a last wave forward to your plank. Place the right knee to the ground. Lift the left leg, finding this tabletop. One line. Release the right arm, or keep going with one leg, knee to head. Curving your spine and coming back to a straight line. I'm going to go ahead and release that arm. So you can do both versions, whatever feels comfortable. And go ahead and keep your navel engaged, bringing it more in. And especially when you're finding that flat back, allow your navel to keep working without hanging out. And switch your legs. Stretch out the right one, release the left arm, finding one line, and go all the way from your navel. Bring it in and out, and in, curve your spine and out. And just a few more like that. Keep on breathing. Find your own pace. Find your straight line. And place knee and a hand on the ground. And just check in. Find a nice arch. Tuck your toes and all the way to a down facing dog. Look forward, hop forward or step forward. Look to the horizon. Let go. And slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Connect your arms above you in a prayer position and go down again. Look out into the horizon, find a nice arch, and step back, jump back to a chaturanga. Find a nice juicy cobra. Tuck your toes and go all the way to a down facing dog. Release your right leg, and let's find some circles, waking up our hip joint. And reverse your circles. If you can, keep listening to your armpits, getting closer to the ground, sustaining that stretch in your spine, and open the leg. And bring your knee forward, step forward. Find a lower position in your hips. Nice stretch, and see if you can sustain that into warrior one. Take a breath and go ahead, interlace your fingers behind you, finding an even deeper arch, and allow your chest to cascade down, bringing your forehead to your knee or a little bit further. And here we're going to go back and forth as well. From the arch, breathe in and breathe out, go down. And again, breathe in, keep your navel working strong, engage your mula bandha, your pelvic floor. Breathe out, go down. And breathe in. Come back to warrior one and go all the way down. Release your right leg, chaturanga, and all the way to the arch. Tuck your toes to a down facing dog. Release the left leg and find nice circles warming up your hip. And reverse the circles. Keep breathing. Make sure you're not holding your breath while you're doing all of that. And find a good stretch between your heels. Go ahead and bring your left leg forward. Find that good stretch in your hips before you go ahead. Or warrior one. And interlace your fingers behind you. And go ahead and bend all the way forward. Humble warrior. And find a nice arch. Breathe in, open up your chest and travel forward. Keep your navel engaged. Pull your mula bandha up your pelvic floor. And traveling down again. And come back to warrior one. All the way to three-legged chaturanga, into your cobra, and coming back to our down facing dog. Find a deeper breath. Find a nice stretch in your hamstring. Look forward, jump forward, step forward. Look out into the horizon. Let go. And slowly roll up, connecting your arms in the prayer position above your head. And let's go ahead and connect into our chair pose. And from here we're going to transition into an eagle pose. So go ahead and swing your arms, bring your right arm under your left arm and shift your weight. Put your right leg over your left leg. Allow your knees to look forward, your elbows to look forward, your gaze to look forward. And keep breathing. And see if you can bring your pelvis just a tiny little bit closer to the ground before you release the position. And now go ahead, come back to a chair pose. And from here, bring your left arm under your right. And go ahead and interlace your left leg over your right. Keep your knees facing forward, your elbows aligned in one line with your knees. Keep your gaze calm and steady as your breath, and unwind. Release your legs, come back to a chair pose. See if you can go a little bit deeper before you go all the way down. Breathe out. Look out, breathe in. Bend your knees, jump into chaturanga. Find a nice arch. Tuck your toes, come back all the way down facing dog. Release your right leg. And step all the way forward to warrior one. Transitioning into warrior two. Find a calm breath here. Find a nice stretch between your arms and get ready to transition to a warrior three. Shift your weight to the front leg and find a straight line here. Rotate your hips, level up your hips, parallel to the ground. Connect your arms and go ahead and bring them in the prayer position next to your chest. Another option is to release and bring them forward, which I will do on the other side to demonstrate. And come back to warrior two, find a nice arch. We keep going, moving through this transition. Three-legged chaturanga. Arch forward. And bringing down, facing dog. Shift your leg. Good stretch. Transitioning to a warrior 1. Left leg forward. And to warrior 2. See if you can find a straight line in between your hips facing the wall. Calm breath. A thread of your arms stretching further, and shift your weight to your left leg, connecting to warrior 3. We're going to transition here, bringing our hips parallel to the ground. Keep your arms sideways. That's another option. You can keep your gaze down to the ground as well. Keep your navel in. Feel the stretch from your heel to the top of your head. And come back to warrior 2. All the way down to 3-legged chaturanga. Into a nice cobra. Tuck your toes and come back to a down facing dog. And go ahead and get ready. Look forward to jump, bringing your feet outside of your arms. We're going to connect to a nice hip opener. Bring your arms to your heart. See if you can open up with your elbows, your knees a little bit further. Find your peaceful breath. And we're going to go ahead and transition to our crow pose. Bring your knees under your armpits as high as you can and release the weight off your toes. Find a balance and jump back to chaturanga or step back through the cobra transition. Breathe in, breathe out, back to down facing dog, and look up, jump forward into all the way down into our Janu Shirshasana, releasing your left leg, placing the right heel all the way close to your seat bone, and with the breathing in, elongate your spine and pour your chest over to your thigh. Interlace your fingers behind the foot, or you can also place it on your shin. Just another option to bring your arm around. Find a nice grab and place your chest back forward, listening to your right shoulder here, making sure that it's getting closer to the ground, that it's not sticking out there. And let go. Unwind. Switch your legs, stretch your right leg, bring your left heel to your seat bone. Flex that toe, elongate your spine, and go all the way down. Interlace your fingers and stay there. Or another option, release the left arm and find a nice twist there. Here you can really see my shoulder going closer to the ground. Let go of your head. Keep your foot flexed, especially here. Engage your Mula Bandha. Pull your pelvic floor up. Breathe in and stretch all the way up into our transition to Purvattanasana. Place your arms behind you and bring your pelvis all the way up. Feel free to bend your knees if that feels too much. Half bridge. Or you can just stay here. Keep breathing. Let go of the tension in your head. Bring your knees closer to one another. And release, bring your pelvis back down. And we go ahead and transition all the way to our camel pose. Place your arms behind you and find a nice stretch. And feel free to stay there or grab your heels and go a little bit further. Find a calm breath here. Stay as long as it feels comfortable. Slowly, step by step, bringing your hands back up. And bringing your knees close to one another and opening up your heels. And you can sit here and find a good stretch. If that's too much, feel free to sit on the yoga block. Place the yoga block under your sit bones. Or if you want to go further, go a little bit further and lean on your elbows, or even further, all the way down, making sure that you're finding your navel coming closer to your spine here. Again, it shouldn't hurt. If it hurt, please do come back and stay in the sitting position. Slowly reverse. You're getting out of this position, coming back to your elbows, bringing yourself step by step a little bit higher into the sitting, and slowly bringing your toes and knees more out to our child pose here. Breathe out. Lift your wrists up, finding more stretch in your spine. And slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring your knees together. Shift your weight. Tuck your toes, step back. Go ahead and bend your knees. Go on your forearms. We're going to go for Dolphin, finding a nice stretch in your armpit and shifting the weight forward to keep your navel engaged. Or you can stretch your knees and go all the way from straight knees forward to your forearm. And go bringing your pelvis up and shifting the weight forward. This is a preparation for our head stands, our shoulder stands. Yeah, just strengthening our shoulder area and strengthening our core here. Shift our weight to our right forearm. Feel free to stay here or place your heel close to your sit bone here. Allow your pelvis come a little bit higher so it's not hanging down, finding one line here. And we're not going to stay there for too long. Through the plank, shift your weight to the other side, opening up that chest, bringing your heel close to your sit bone. Breathe steadily. Look to the ceiling if you want to add a little bit more challenge. Feel free to also test your balance, bringing your arm forward and going back into a plank. Knees on the ground, coming back to our child's pose. Release your head. Let's bring some weight to the top of our head, to the crown of our head, and see if you can imagine like it's a ball and you can roll it around, releasing all the tension in your neck, in your head. Just rolling it like a ball. Use your arms to take unnecessary tension, unnecessary weight off your head, just to release it. And let go. Shift your weight all the way to your hips and go ahead and step forward, opening up the legs into a 90-degree position here. Yeah, finding a nice stretch. Feel free to interlace your fingers, grabbing your big toes with the 2 fingers and bend all the way forward. You can place your arms in front of you and stay there, or for a deeper stretch, you can place your arms underneath your knees and stay there, or even lift your legs a little bit off the ground. And slowly get out of there. If you were just staying here, find a nice arch and elongate your spine here. And vertebrae by vertebrae, bring yourself up. Get ready to a bound angel pose, connecting your heels together, opening up your knees to the sides and bow forward. All the way from your tailbone, feel the length of your spine here, bowing forward, gently bringing your chest closer to the ground, opening up your feet facing towards the ceiling, towards your chest. Let go of your neck. And slowly bring your chest up, grab your toes or your shins and open leg after leg, finding a balance here. Strong core, lift up your chest, look up to the ceiling, breathe deeper. Engage your Mula Bandha and bring your legs down. Shift your weight forward just so you have space to roll down. Bring your right knee close to you. Check in with some circles. We're going to go ahead and find a nice stretch. Grab your shin here. You can bend your leg that is laying down, the left leg that is laying down on the ground. And slowly, slowly stretch your right leg and bend and stretch. If you want to add a little bit more, feel free to stretch your left leg and flex. Yeah. And bend and stretch and see if every time you can bring a little bit closer, even if it's a very half a centimeter, 1/10 of an inch. Bring your knee to the ground, opening up the hip a little bit further, and just place it on the side with the bent knee. See if you can slightly bring it closer to the ground while the left hip stays facing the ceiling without rotating it to the other side too much. And take your left knee, add some circles to it just to check in how open our hips getting. And feel free to bend your right knee. Take your shin and stretch. If you feel like you're ready, you can stretch both legs and slowly bend just the left and stretch, bringing it a little bit closer towards you every time. Now, very important to elongate your neck here. Make sure you're not arching. Make sure you're not creating any unnecessary tension in your trapezius. Yeah, keep your breath steady. Concentrate on making more space in your hips. Finding a nice stretch in your hamstrings. And go ahead and move it sideways with a straight leg, or maybe with a bend in your knee, like we did on the other side. Whatever feels comfortable. Bring your knee closer to the ground. Yeah, that could be a nice stretch before you open your leg there. Or just keep your knee bent and slowly move it to the side. All the way down. Wiggle a little bit. Your whole spine. Realign your spine here. Release all unnecessary tension. And just find some rock and roll here. Back and forward, suspend. Back and forward, suspend a little bit more. And all the way back and suspend a little bit more.